Jeffrey, unaware of how to lift properly, goes to the gym for 2 hours a day, gets zero sleep, not enough calories, and goes back at it the next day. Meanwhile, Adonis knows the science behind lifting and continues to lift properly to maintain an amazing physique that is capable of functionality and aesthetics. As you start your fitness journey, you start to learn about the different mechanisms that go into play. Hypertrophy is the main one. That's like it's simply just that hypertrophy is overloading a muscle to apply growth. Whether that growth is strength or actual size in the muscle, growth is still occurring. There's three things that happen on your journey of weightlifting. The first one is that you'll never be big enough. The minute that you start weightlifting is the minute that every time you look in the mirror you go, I will never be big enough. The reason that this happens is because you go to the gym, you start lifting weights, you're pumping your biceps up, you're pumping your chest up, you get blood flow to that muscle. The muscle pumps up and gets bigger. You look in the mirror and you go, wow, that's amazing. Like, look how much bigger my muscle is. And you start to think that that is your baseline. So imagine this. This is your baseline. Your actual baseline is this bottom axis. You go to the gym, your muscle is now going to be up here. So when you look in the mirror, you're going to see this compared to this. And anytime you see yourself here, you think you're small because you've seen your pump here. Now, 6 months will go by, and you will see that you are now starting to look like your pump was 6 months ago. But the loop that keeps happening is that now you'll have an even bigger pump. So you'll start to look at this. Remember, this was the original baseline. You'll start to look like here, but now your pump level will be up here. So it's just a never-ending cycle of going up, which is okay. It's okay. It's going to happen at some point. You're going to start comparing yourself to others. But one thing that you need to keep in mind is don't compare yourself to others, such as, let's say you go to the gym and you see a guy benching 365 pounds. You're like, holy shit, this guy is so much bigger than me, so much stronger than me. He might stay at 365 for the rest of his life. Let's be realistic. He might stay at 225 for the rest of his life, right? And you're only benching 135. But if you keep growing, you're putting like 5 pounds on every 2 weeks, you're able to bench 5 extra pounds, you're going to continue to grow compared to that guy that's only going to be stuck at 225. So focus on yourself and continue to grow. When you first started lifting, you started lifting for attention. And don't cope and say, no, I did it because I wanted to make myself better. You did it for some form of attention, whether it be attention from girls, attention from your parents, your family, your friends. When you are a bigger man, a more muscular man, it is going to bring more attention to you. People are going to be like, holy crap, that dude is huge. Whether it be a good way or a bad way, other guys are going to look at you and be like, some might want to pick a fight with you. I have yet to have that happen, but I've heard stories of when you start to get bigger, guys are like going to think they're the cock of the walk and want to come up and be like, all right, well, fuck this dude up. There's also an added benefit of you get to a certain point where you're so big that people don't even want to fight you. Ronnie Coleman always talks about, Ronnie Coleman was a police officer while he was weightlifting. He talks about how he'd get to the scene where another officer's at, and there was like a fight going on or a quarrel. And he walks on scene, and the fight just stops. They look at Ronnie and they go, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. When you start to work out, you start to get better about your diet because you want to get bigger in the most optimal way. One thing that you will need to take advice for if you're still now a teenager living at home with your parents, take the time to eat your mom's food. Take the time to eat with your families. Studies have shown that we are social creatures and that when we eat with our families, our happiness levels just naturally rise with it. Like, it's like one of our biggest biggest joys in life is eating with others. It makes me think of like why back in like the 1970s, 80s, they started to remove that from traditional homes. They started offering TV dinners to where you'd sit around TV watching TV instead of sitting down with your family talking about your day. Just socializing with your family, building a reputation and bond with them. The journey is going to be hard. No matter what, the journey to the top will be hard. You'll come across pitfalls and joys. It's going to be ups and downs. You just got to remember, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like doing it.